So we are here to recap Married to Medicine, Season 9, Episode 2. I'm Farrah and this is
Elisa.
Welcome to our channel, Voices of Reality. Please continue to watch, like, and comment. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and share our videos. So
yes,
let's get right into it. Dr. Heavenly thinking she's pregnant, going to see Dr. Jackie.
Yeah. She's pregnant, 55, right? I think she's in her 50s.
She's 55. I mean,
she's in her early or mid 50s.
Women in their 50s could get pregnant. That's possible. But
maybe if you freeze your eggs.
Huh?
If you freeze your eggs, I guess it is possible. I think that's what Janet Jackson did,
But I think she just didn't want to come to the realization that she's getting old. But it was a little bit too much of info. TMI. Like, she talked about her vagina being dry, and she's been just not having sex with daddy and just having oral sex. And I'm like, that is telling too much information. And all them little hot-ass nurses in Atlanta and all them women is like, she ain't please her man. Boop, boop, I'm going after Dr.
Exactly. All in his DMs.
Yeah, that was too much info. Why you need to let everybody know you're not sexually able to please your man, or you're not into sex with your man, and your pussy's dry. Like, that was too much. Like, I would not. I'd be like, look, this is a scene we don't need to shoot. Nobody needs to know that but me and Jackie.
Hopefully she never comes to regret this.
Girl, I'm regretting watching it. Like, why would you do that to yourself? And then your husband's at work, everybody looking like, we know your wife's pussy's dry. Like, you did. I think with Heavenly and other people, it's not just about how you're perceiving yourself, how we're perceiving you. You have to think about your mate. Now you got people looking at him like, if I see him in the hospital, I'm like, that's the doctor, the wife with the dry puss. Oh, that's what he did. He hasn't been getting no pussy, or he's getting a blowjob. And Heavenly don't look like somebody that's like a freak to me, anyway. Or
I think she does. I think she is a freak. I think she's in a freak in those sheets.
You think so? Well, her pussy dry, so I don't know how.
I think the way that she caters to daddy, her husband, I think like she will go all out for him to please him. I think she's dropping it low. Like, I just think she goes all out for him. I can definitely see her doing a lot in that bedroom.
I don't know. I don't care how freaky you are. If your pussy's dry, there ain't much freaking going on. But
she better use some, those lubricants or whatever. So she better get with the program or do what Jackie did. Didn't Jackie get some type of rejuvenation?
Yeah, I think Jack had mentioned, but that was just too much information in your personal life that your husband may not feel comfortable everybody knowing. Why would you want anybody to know about your dry pussy? Like, trust me, someone eventually is gonna throw that in her face. Shut the hell up and have it with your dry pussy.
Yeah, but I think that goes too with her YouTube channel. That kind of all relates. Like, she has no problem. And I guess in her defense with the Contessa situation, she has no problem not only divulging her friend's business, but her own too.
Obviously, because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
So what was the next scene after that? She said that they doing
Toya having a discussion.
Yeah, so I have to retract. If anyone saw our first video, please go back and watch. I have to say I agree with Elisa. And I am Team Contessa. Now, I don't like Contessa. And I say Contessa because that's what Dr. Heavenly used to call her. So I don't like her because of the whole, I don't know. I have to see if I like her or not. I'm just like, about Contessa. I really don't have any real opinion about her. She's not my favorite. But after she had the conversation with Toya and expressed how she felt of what Heavenly did, how close they really were, how Heavenly was on her YouTube channel talking to strangers like myself, I am Team Contessa on this so-called beef, because Dr. Heavenly really did say a lot of stuff about Contessa's marriage. And I thought about us, like, we do this YouTube channel, you have your other YouTube channels, and we're talking about a topic here, and now you're going back to your YouTube channel talking negatively about something that's very traumatic or affecting my life, I would feel a type of way. Like, could you not do that? Can you do it
Absolutely.
offline? Could you? And it seems like Contessa mentioned it to Heavenly before, like, oh, I would appreciate you not doing it. And again, Heavenly is about money. So it shows you how much she doesn't value Contessa, how much she doesn't respect Contessa's friendship. And she cares more about viewership and sponsorship and everything else. So, as to me, you don't need a friend like that. She really doesn't care about you.
And that's what I was saying the last time. I feel like you making a choice and
Yeah.
you chose YouTube over my friendship. And like I was
Yeah.
saying before, there's instances that I can definitely bring up that that relates to subjects that we talk about as far as friends, as far as like any, a lot of things, even on a podcast channel that I have. But a lot of times I do not bring it up because I don't want to have any issues with my friends because of my YouTube channel. So a lot of times I censor myself when it comes to situations, or I'll turn the situation around so nobody will know who I'm talking about. Like, so I just think I'm very tactful and intentional when it comes to my relationships. I'm not going to try to hurt someone, and I'm not going to choose my YouTube channel over my friendships that I've built over years and decades.
So Heavenly is very business savvy. She's about making money, different streams of income. So in the beginning, she was on the show and her YouTube channel wasn't doing that well. It was kind of like, who's gonna want to listen to Heavenly? And what does she really have that we want to hear her talk about? So she started talking about the show, trash talking everybody on the show, which was entertaining. So she decided to continue doing that when she saw how much views she was getting, subscriber numbers coming up. So she decided to use that and not really care about the friendship. And I think in her head, she's thinking like, well, they know I'm making money. It's nothing. It's just me talking about them. If they're my friend, they should understand. But you're talking about someone's marriage. And
Yeah.
Contessa said something. I don't remember if she said on the show or if she said it somewhere else that my husband's a doctor. You're messing with his livelihood also by saying he's abusive. There are
Mm-hmm.
people that won't see him go to his practice based on that. I know I would
Yeah.
feel that way. Like, I'm not like right now, if I had to go to the doctor, I wouldn't go to him because I know you're not a good husband. Like, we as women think of these things. Like, I don't want to go to
Yeah.
this doctor. He's abusive to
Treating
me,
his wife
right?
like this, and I'm a woman. Like, I would never stand for
Exactly.
somebody being abusive.
So, men might feel that way. So even with
Yeah.
that, he may lose clients. People may not want to go to his
Yeah.
practice. Women are looking at Contessa different. Like, you weak. I don't want to see no doctor that weak. Like, it's putting them in a sticky situation, not only on
Mm-hmm.
national TV, business wise, plus they have kids. They
Yeah.
all have kids old enough to, hear your YouTube channel and stuff like that. So Heavenly was definitely wrong. She talks about Toya like a dog on that show. Like, Toya gets the worst of it. But her and Toya are not friends. But with Contessa, it's kind of like, you're wrong, Heavenly. And I'm waiting to see what happens, but hopefully she does step up.
Yeah. I
Kind
would
of
never, there's no way, I don't know, especially when you're doing it over and over and over, like you're damaging it, re-damaging. Like, what can you do to kind of retract it and bring, like, to me, it's like the damage is done. I don't know if I could be friends with Heavenly after that if I was Contessa. Like, you did it over and over and over again, and then you really expect like me to be friends with you, and then you talk about how hurt you are. So what do you think? You're gonna just keep talking about me and my marriage on the channel, and you think we're going to be friends? Like, what is, like, Heavenly is too educated, and like you said, maybe education doesn't, it's more so common sense, but I believe that Heavenly has common sense. It's just so messed up that she really doesn't. It's not like, you really, are you playing dumb, or are you really dumb? Like, come on now, that's your friend. You can't be, you don't need money that bad. It's not like Heavenly is, I guess I know it's a stream of income. YouTube, you have the potential to make so much money, but Heavenly has many streams of income. You don't have to use your friend. Okay, fine, her and Toya are not friends, but don't use me of all people, like, to, gain more,
foul.
subscribers and money when you can do that anyway.
She's doing that
Like,
now with that Heavenly Beauty Supply store.
yeah, like,
And
yeah.
with her being a dentist, she started out her YouTube channel. If you go back, she was talking about real estate. She was talking about other stuff that was very a lot of informative. for Black people, which was interesting also. But of course, she got more viewership from talking bad about her friends. So when she weighed the pros and the cons, she probably like, I'm making money. The friendship is not as important. So
I would have chose to do it against the Toyas and whoever else that I may not be friends with. I would never do it with my friend. Like that's my real friend. And then you know your friends. Like you know who's gonna be hurt, who's not gonna care. Like you know your friends, and she should know Contessa, and talking about her like that. There's kind of like no return from that. You can't just apologize, especially when you're doing it over and over again. So it's just like you got to know like that she was wrong. And I wouldn't, I don't know. With Contessa, I don't know if I would forgive that.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Because what can you do when you've done it over and over? How can we go back?
And you can't take any of the things that were said.
Yeah.
So people feel the type of way towards her husband already. So
yeah, and she Heavenly made a choice. And the choice was YouTube over our friendship. You cannot have both. So, and I would take it as she made a choice. You made that choice, and I'm moving on. I would probably confront her for the show, but I would have deaded her right off the back. And if she calls me and needs an explanation, then maybe I would have told her. But I would never have an intervention and sit down. But it's good for TV, so I get why Contessa's doing it.
Correct.
I wouldn't even give her that much.
True. So next,
Simone and Cecil out to dinner with their son and the son's 2-year or 3-year relationship with his girlfriend.
2 years. I think it was about 2 years. I mean, people date who they want, but I was surprised. I was kind of surprised
too.
He was dating an Asian woman. I don't know. I just figured he would date a Black woman. I don't know. I just was surprised. I was like, oh, like when I saw it, they look odd to me.
They do. Like they do look like an odd couple.
Like, are they really a couple or they're not? It was just something off about their relationship. They don't look like they were that much into each other. I don't know. I think I was more shocked that if he was dating an Asian woman. There's nothing wrong with dating outside of your race, but that's not what I was expecting. And I mean, they just look odd to me.
Did the girlfriend say something? I think she said something during that sit down where they showed it on camera.
Yeah, kind of like how she has to kind of like motivate him or something like that. I think she implied that she kind of like motivates him or has him do his schoolwork, something. Well, they like him. Like Simone and Cecil said they actually like him.
Yeah, and that's what
like her.
Yeah, and that's what I took from that. Like that, although they look like an odd couple, because me being an Aquarius, like I feel like I don't have a type. And I could very well be, because I'm more so into character, and I've dated like men and I'm like, okay, he's very ugly. But then when I got to know them,
oh my God, he's very ugly.
When I dated this guy one time when I was like in my 20s, and I thought like he was ugly at first. And he was like, and I remember I told that to somebody. They had the nerve to go back and tell him, but we was in a full-fledged relationship like 2 years at that point. So I did think he was ugly, but his personality won me over after like a year or two. Like it won me over. But if you looked at us, you would think we were like, not because I think I'm so great looking, but just the way you look at us, we just look odd, like together. I was a little taller than him, like things like that. He just wasn't my type, but his personality and just the way he was won me over. And I got that from them. Like when the girlfriend started talking, I thought, like, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get it, because I related myself to it. Like, it must be something about her. She probably motivates him, pushes him. And to me, that would absolutely it would make them look better to me, even though at first I remember thinking like the guy was so ugly to me. And then after that, it's like he started looking so much better once I got to know him.
With her, I'm not saying she's not attractive. I was just expecting to be dating a Black woman. But with that, Simone and Cecil are in the midst of writing a book, a couple's book, a relationship book. I'm not purchasing, I'm not reading, I'm not interested in anything they have to say for that book. I don't see that being no time.
I think people that have problem marriages and that's looking, because it looked like they was on the brink of divorce and they got back on track. So I can see problematic marriages, purchasing that and seeing how they did it, and the way Simone is, and the way they just, he was looked like he had other women. He was, I don't know if he was cheating on her, but just, he wouldn't let go of them. Like, when Simone had asked him about it, but it seemed like now they just seem so much happier. So, and we don't really know like the steps they took to get to this place. So I can see if I was in a problem marriage, I would want to know how did they get to where they're at now, coming from where they came from on the brink of divorce. So I think that would be the seller of that book.
I don't think that book is going anywhere. I don't know. I just don't see it. I mean, I would have to see, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I was interested in like, oh, I really want to see how they did it through their marriage. I mean, of course, they were in the bricks of getting a divorce. They decided to get back together. They have probably a lot of stuff that happened in their marriage, but I'm not interested in reading their book.
Maybe people can comment down below. Are you going to buy the book?
Yeah, and would you buy the book?
Yes. So the next scene was Anila, or whatever her name, Anila. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna last long. I want to fast forward through her.
2 episodes. They need to let 2 seasons. They need to let her go. She's not interested. I mean, the first video, I want to see more of her culture. I want her to last this season, but next season she needs to go.
Yeah, so what is she bringing to the show? Like, what? I don't know. Like, I know we don't need the drama, but I just don't see what she's bringing. And even with the husband, he's a doctor, right? Like, what is he bringing? Like, she's married to medicine. Like, I don't see them bringing anything to the show.
She's a blogger. I think she's making her blogger seem like it's more than it really is, because she doesn't even have that many followers. And yes, when you're a blogger, they're following, the amount of followers you have on social media does coincide with you blogging. Like, if you go in there and you're not hitting 500,000 or a good amount of followers, I mean, her as a blog, I fail to believe that all that stuff she said about blog. Now that she's on that show, I think she may have a little bit more people like trying to have her advertise stuff and things like that. She's getting a lot of free stuff, which is,
yeah.
Okay, you're on the show, of course they want you to promote stuff. She's probably got a lot of more viewership. She's probably got more Instagram followers because, probably tapping into her Indian culture. Overall, I don't think she's that big of a blogger as she's making it seem on the show. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. There was a scene about her and the nanny, when the nanny tells them she's quitting. And I was so annoyed. It showed me how selfish and inconsiderate she is. How are you upset with the nanny wanting to spend time with her own family?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once the nanny said that, the conversation should have been shut down. Like, congratulating her, being happy for her, and life. She's gonna start a new chapter in her life, going to move in with her family. Like, that was selfish of Anelia.
And I love the nanny's face. Like, oh yeah, I'm going. Like, you think your kids are more important than my grandkids? Like, are you serious?
Exactly. You'll find a replacement, girl. Stop.
Like, really, you're probably not even paying that much. This woman is older. She wants to spend time with her grandkids, and you're basically saying, no, is there anything that can you reconsider? What am I supposed to reconsider? Wiping your kids' asses instead of wiping my own grandkids' asses?
Yeah.
Goodbye. Take care of your own kids, Neela.
And that's the part that I think that she tried to make interesting about that, because she doesn't have anything else to bring to the table on Married to Medicine. So I think like she did that for dramatics, and it just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. Like, girl, stop. This is the climax of your scenes in Married to Medicine, is letting your nanny is going. Like, and then she tried to make something out of nothing. I was not enthused about that scene. I was like, she needs to be fired next season.
No, I agree. She needs to go. She's boring.
Yeah.
But let's
not
see.
Even a friend of the
show. Episode 2. Let's see. Maybe she'll bring it, chuggle along.
I can't see. I haven't seen her bring nothing yet. Like, no.
Well, last year she had the whole conflict of Toya. And she stood up to Toya. So that was something like, oh, finally, Neela has a voice. And because last season they kept saying how she was like Toya's pet and kissing Toya's behind, which she was. And then she finally stood up to Toya. So this season, let's see. I mean, I don't know who she'll go against, but Maybe she'll bring something to the table. Right now,
I
her
think
table's
we'll
empty.
see. I still wasn't even impressed with her last year, even though they had their little beef. I was never impressed with her. Dr. Heavenly's hair show.
I
It's
mean,
good
it
that she's
was,
into hair now.
huh?
It's good that she's into hair now.
Well, I don't know why heavily. I understand it's a business, but for me, if you are promoting hair, you're saying you don't want hair beauty salon, you need to come with better wigs because you are a representation of your business. Like her YouTube channel and some of them wigs she be wearing is a hot mess. When I first heard Beverly was opening a hair wig line or whatever she's opening up, I was like, Beverly, oh hell, I could see that Miss Quad. Like Quad got some nice looking wigs, got her stuff together. But Heavenly,
I don't know. I think she's not
no.
doing just wigs. She's doing beauty supply. So I can
Again,
see.
Heavenly or beauty supplies, a woman hardly can't even put on damn makeup.
No, I no, I'm for business, even if you're not into it, because I'm the same way. I'm open. Look at me. I got a barbershop slash hair salon. I barely do my hair since I was young. I get it cut. Now that I'm natural, I don't do much with it. So you would never know that I have like a hair salon slash,
Yeah,
barbershop. So I'm all for opening up a business. You see, when you got money, not that I have money like that, but when you have the opportunity to do something,
on the
you don't
platform.
have to be an expert in it. You get other people that are the expert. But yeah, I mean, I guess if I have money like Heavenly, maybe I would wear better wigs, but that must be her style. Like she might like,
But
other
I feel
wigs.
like a customer, I'm looking at what you got in your head. Like you can't like when you look at some of the wigs. Like I know she sells synthetic and human hair. I get it, but I would want to be like, oh, I like that. I want to go to a shop and get it. Like this is your platform. Like during the show, she did have them model some of her wigs. But even you need to be a representation of your business. People are like, oh, I like the wig that Heavenly's wearing. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I need to get to a shop and get it. But in past episodes and even now, I'm not seeing anything where I'm like, oh, I would go to her store to purchase. Because you are representing your store at this point. You're selling wigs.
Yeah,
You
I
should
mean,
be
and then
your billboard.
and she has a large audience to bring in the customers. See, me, I really play like a background role to my business. I'm not in the forefront of a
Yeah,
wide audience to bring, but let me tell you, if I was, like, I would
exactly.
definitely be showcasing with the money that I'm getting from this business or whatever, even if I'm not, like, I'm going to invest in a nice piece of, a unit or whatever. So,
Exactly. So you could say, oh, this is from Heavenly Beauty. Like every confessional, Heavenly Beauty, every scene, Heavenly Beauty. Like I'm not seeing no wigs. I could be like, oh, I want to go get. I mean, the
true.
fashion show altogether was nice. And again, it's what you like. Dr. Jackie, I thought looked great. Her wig was like giving me Diana Ross type of vibe.
Yeah.
Quad had them horns on her head,
Mm-hmm.
looking like she was a whole demon devil. Thank God it took her out of her head because she was so worried about being a meme. Who else was on the show? The modeling show. I think it was that's it, right?
Toya was there? Wasn't Toya there?
Yeah, but she was in modeling. Her and Contessa was in modeling. Neither was Simone. So Contessa,
Mm-hmm. That's what I was
kind
gonna
of
bring
like,
up.
I was like, what is her problem? You going to the first of all, you're going to support Heavenly, even though you feel this type of way. That was for me, I wouldn't have even gone to a show, but hey, she gonna support people. But then you mad that she didn't ask you to be in the fashion show. But you're not talking to her. Like
I
that
would have
didn't
been disappointed too, though. If I have beef with my friend and you kind of know why I'm being distant or something, like it would make, even though like if I feel like you did cut me deep, I probably would cut it off really quick. But I would at least want to know that I'm of value to you, where I would want you to kind of, give an olive branch. And I think that's what was hurtful and more disappointing to Contessa. Like if I got a problem with you and you did me wrong, like at least inquire, like ask me what my problem is so that we can discuss it. Give me an olive branch. Don't just not care and turn and keep going, because then that's gonna really make me even more bitter. So I could see what Contessa was feeling.
I couldn't because she was there. So why even go and bitch about not modeling? You know, when you went there, you wasn't gonna model. Like, I would not even go if I felt that deep. Oh well, she didn't ask me to model. Oh, I don't like her. Oh, she not. I'm not talking to her.
But
Why
that
you
doesn't mean
there?
that she can't support. When it comes to business, I think that's what Contessa. I wouldn't go either. Like you said, I wouldn't have gone. So, but with Contessa, I just feel like she did mention like when it has to do with business that's separate from their friendship. She is. That's how we need to uplift one another as a Black community, as a minority, as women. Like you want to go out and support them. You want to be happy for them. Like I don't know how much trouble she had getting to where, Heavenly is, but, they were once tight. So if you do, I guess, I wouldn't let that go either. I wouldn't go, but I can see Contessa still trying to be that supportive friend. I can see somebody doing that.
You're trying to be a supportive friend for someone's business who wasn't supportive about your marriage and spreading her business that you're upset about. I don't know why she went. Maybe she wanted to get some of the airtime and felt like
That
I
too.
have to be in that scene, but it didn't make any sense. You're that upset. You go there and then you're complaining about not being on the fashion show. It
No,
didn't make
that
any
was
sense.
hurtful. That, like I said, it would be more
Exactly.
hurtful.
So why go? You're hurt about not being on the fashion show. Now you're seeing everybody in the circle, not everybody, but the majority of people in the circle there modeling. You feel the type of way. Why go? She knew she wasn't gonna be in the show. Did she not know they were gonna be modeling?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she didn't realize that all of them were going to be in the show. So, I mean, I get how she was feeling when it was kind of like, now you kind of like throwing salt in the wound because it's like they're in it. Now I'm feeling like an outcast and I really was your friend. Like we as Heavenly said, they spoke every single day. They've gone out a lot. So I think that would throw salt in the wound. So I get, like I said, I get how Contessa's feeling because that would hurt me too.
I mean, I wouldn't feel that way because I wouldn't have gone.
I wouldn't have either, but it would be more hurtful if I wouldn't have gone and you not even asking. I'm mad at you and you not even inquiring why. You not even asking for forgiveness. It's almost like you don't even value my friendship. I'm sitting over here hurt about what you did. And you're not even having a decency to ask me what is wrong with me, why we're not speaking, what my problem is, not even sending out an olive branch. Maybe I probably would have turned it down. Maybe I wouldn't have been in the show because I think like we need to talk first, but at least let me know that I mean something to you.
Well, she didn't give a damn about
Yeah, sure did.
It was all about her shows and whoever else she put on there.
But what did you think about the fashion show?
I thought it was good. I think they had Dr. Jackie looked nice. I like the big wig on her. It was something different. Quad, I think, had a long wig with bangs, I think.
Yeah.
Neil looked stupid coming out there. She didn't have a wig on, spring Lysol. I was like,
oh, yeah. That wasn't that Lysol. That was supposed to be hairspray. She tried to make a moment. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what she's spraying.
I think that was it. That was supposed to be like hairspray. She was coming out trying to make it. Didn't do what it was supposed to be doing. Like she did not know the assignment. It was terrible. She needs to be fired. I'm sorry. This reconfirms that she is not a good pick for the show.
Yeah, Dr. Heavenly, I like the wig she had on. She dropped it like it was hot.
Yes, I like that.
The one thing about Heavenly is like, she's like, to me, although she's like, oh, daddy this, daddy that, she comes off very insecure. Even when the women are like, oh, don't be, dropping it high in front of my man. Like, she comes off very insecure. Even in Anila's housewarming, she was like defensive or feeling very protective when she noticed that this woman was talking to her husband. And I'm like, what the hell? If he's never cheated and your relationship is so good and you're confident, and why are you always so insecure about anybody being around your man? Like
it does come off as slightly like, to me, I look at it as kind of like jokey, but then you can tell at times she's very serious. I do like the joking part of it, but like you said, when it gets to the point where you really like, going in on somebody and you think like they coming on, or you don't want them even talking to your man or addressing your man, like now you're going too far. But I do like their relationship. I do like the way she treats him. I feel like she really, and I just like the way he looks at her too. Like I feel like he enjoys her. Like he really, like you could just look every time she does something crazy, she dropping it low. She's saying daddy, like she's, get away from my man. Don't talk to my husband. Don't call him dad. Like, I just think like he just seems to relish in that and just like bask in it. Like, and that's what I enjoy about their relationship. Like you can tell they genuinely love each other.
I think Heavenly knows how to build up a man's self-esteem. I
Yeah.
think that's what she's doing. She's building, because right now she's the star, not him. I mean, people like him, but she knows how to, like basically build a man's self-esteem by calling him daddy. I could tell her she's
Yeah.
a good wife to him.
I think so too. And he genuinely enjoys her foolish behavior sometimes. Like he gets a kick out of it. Like I see him when she says something like crazy off the wall and they pan the camera like to him or past him. Like he just seems to always have like a lovingly smile on his face.
He's respectful and he's very laid back.
Mm-hmm.
He's the voice of reasoning for Heavenly. So
Yes.
I like him too. I like his demeanor. He has a presence. He's not loud. He's very educated. I think they are a great couple. They're a great couple.
Yeah, they seem to balance each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
So
was basically it for this
yeah,
episode. We gotta
the
wait
next
for the next
episode
episode because they have
is
an
the intervention.
Yeah. So I think we'll wait and see how Heavenly handles that. Because again, she wasn't only talking about Contessa in her YouTube chat. She talks about Quad. She said something about Quad. She doesn't really talk about Jackie. She talks about Toy all the time. So let's wait and see if anybody else decides to step up to
Yeah,
Heavenly.
and it looks like it's going to be interesting because it looks like in the beginning, like they're conflicted about the way that Contessa is doing it. And I think that's how Jackie gets roped into it. And maybe that's why they're going to start beefing because all of them are there. And it was almost like a kind of like a gangbang, like where you didn't even let her know she's coming in thinking that we're watching a movie. It's going to be like lovely. And then they just going to bam, like just
It was an ambush.
I don't know if they're going to ever resolve that situation.
See, we don't know. I can't tell if they're friends or not now.
Yes, but we will be back to recap that episode. And we will see you soon. Don't forget to smash that like button. We just started reviewing Married to Medicine. We're going to keep reviewing it. Just keep the comments coming. We respond to every comment that we get on this channel. So, and take a look at our other videos too that we recap. So thank you again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and put the alerts on. See you next time for next episode.
Bye.
Toodles.